has been talking to us here. We're going to talk live now with Joe Keneavan, who lives nearby. Joe Keneavan,
yes.
I got it here, from CBS FM. And, Joe, what can you tell us about what you're seeing? Joe, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I'm here, but I hear some noise in the background.
Okay, well, there's a little bit of noise in the background. I can't help that. But let me ask you to see what you saw, what you heard with the explosion.
Yeah, well, I was in a takeout food restaurant on 23rd Street between 7th and 8th Avenue, and there was suddenly a very, very loud explosion that was not only loud to the ear, but also you could feel the vibration. So there's a little bit of panic in the restaurant that I was in. Mostly everybody stayed calm. A lot of people ran out to see what was happening, and then within a couple of minutes, the streets were just flooded with police cars and fire engines.
Right, and so you did you go out too? Obviously, and you were trying.
I did go out, yeah, and then eventually I walked up to the corner of 7th Avenue. At that point, they had already closed everything off. They had, with caution tape, and people were, sort of standing around speculating. It was basically pretty calm at that point. We did see helicopters up above with those glaring lights that shine down into the streets. And then we did see a bomb squad car pull up, a big truck. And then a little bit after that, the police started to push us back, and they wanted us off 23rd Street completely, so we had to walk all the way towards 8th Avenue, and they kind of cleared that whole street away, too.
Yeah, it looks like that's they were trying to go through, and apparently what they were doing was checking to make sure there were no other devices and any garbage cans, that kind of thing. That's what ABC was speculating here just a little while ago, and that's why they cleared the streets. But it's definitely tough getting around there. And I just heard we were carrying some live coverage here from ABC a couple of minutes ago, and they were talking about how a woman can't get to her apartment who was in the area of the explosion. She's got to figure out a way around it. I mean, ultimately, she might want to just go further west and take a cab, I guess. So what was the reaction of the people that you were with when this happened? Joe, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so what was the reaction of the people you were with when this happened?
It was a little bit of a mixed reaction. There were some younger people that were starting to panic a little bit, and I basically told them just to try to calm down and think good thoughts because we didn't really know what it was yet. I would say the majority of everybody in the streets was basically pretty calm and curious to see what was happening. And
it sounds like, though, that they were handling it like New Yorkers. And,
yeah, a lot of people, dining and eating and drinking in the streets in Chelsea, too. It seemed like they were pretty unbothered by it, I guess.
Yeah, it was a beautiful night out there tonight, and I would expect there were a lot of people. Is that what you saw?
Yeah. I'm sorry I'm having trouble hearing because there's the noise in the background is a little bit louder than you are.
I'm sorry. I'll try to be as loud as I can. So anyway, what I'm saying is I would figure on a night like tonight, there were a lot of people there because it was a beautiful night out there. So did you see a lot of people?
The streets are absolutely mobbed with people. There were also a number of people who could not get back into their own apartment buildings, I guess, once everything was blocked off. There was a gentleman that had his dog. He was walking his dog. He couldn't get back in. I saw a couple that had their car parked on that block, and they couldn't get down there to get their car. So there was some concern about that, but basically everybody remained pretty calm and cool.
That's very good. And anything else that you think you want to share with 1010 Wins' audience here?
Well, I mean, it's if you could see the streets in my neighborhood now, I mean, it's wall to wall. The cars are barely moving. There's a lot of flashing lights around, a lot of horns blowing. But there's definitely a difference between what I'm seeing tonight and what I would see on a typical Saturday night, even though the city's always busy. It's much more so tonight. People aren't able to move around as freely, and the streets are really pretty clogged up.
All right. Thank you very much, Joe. We appreciate it. That's Joe Keneavan from our sister station, CBS FM. Now, what we are